Let me ask you something. When did Paul Heyman actually decide to leave Roman Reigns? Now, I know we all know when he officially turned on him and sided with Seth Rollins, right? At WrestleMania 41 Night 1 main event. We are aware of this. But when people make a decision to betray you, the day that you witness the betrayal is oftentimes, if not always, not when they decided to betray you. It's not when they decided to leave you. In relationships in life, right? How often does someone decide that they want to leave a relationship much earlier than they actually leave the relationship? And then when they break up with their partner and you ask them when they decided to do this, it could be like 2-3 years ago. Even if you decide to end your relationship, right? Say something happens today that makes you want to end your relationship right now. You know you can't end it right now for whatever reason. You need to wait for the right moments. And Paul Heyman may not have ended his relationship with Roman earlier, but only because he was waiting for the right moment to strike. He was waiting for everything to be perfect. So I want to figure that out with Paul Heyman. I want to talk to you guys about it. When did Paul Heyman actually decide that he was done with Roman Reigns? We know when we saw him leave him, but when was he actually done with him? So we're going to go over 4 moments throughout the past year. And at the end, out of all of these 4 moments, I'm going to tell you my final verdict on what I believe was the actual moment when Paul Heyman decided that he was done with Roman Reigns. So let's get right into it. Moment number 1, Roman Reigns' WrestleMania 40 loss to Cody Rhodes. That was the end of an era. It was the end of a historic title reign. It was the end of Roman Reigns as we know it being a winner. So if we're asking why in that moment would Paul Heyman decide right then and there that he was done with Roman Reigns? It was because he was no longer with a winner. Roman Reigns had been champion for the past 4 years. From the moment that Paul Heyman aligned with Roman Reigns in 2020, he knew that he just strapped himself to a rocket, that Roman Reigns was going to go all the way up to the top of the mountain. And for 4 years, it worked. It was exactly that. Roman Reigns was on top. He was unbeatable. He was unstoppable. And Paul Heyman knew that he had attached himself to the right guy. Paul Heyman attaches himself to winners. Paul Heyman is not about losing. And Roman Reigns for 4 years was a winner. But once he lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40 and he lost that 1,316-day title reign, Paul Heyman had realized that he was no longer in the presence of a winner. And to make matters even worse, everything that's happened to Roman from WrestleMania 40 on has proven that Roman Reigns is no longer the winner that he was when Paul Heyman aligned with him initially. So Paul Heyman could, in that very moment, he could have been hugging Roman at the ramp, knowing not only did you just lose your title, but Roman, you may have just lost me too. Moment number 2. Now, let's say that Paul Heyman did not decide to be done with Roman Reigns after he lost to WrestleMania 40. Let's say that he believed that Roman Reigns could actually reclaim his throne and get the title back from Cody Rhodes. However, if he didn't have doubt before, he probably really had doubts now, because Roman Reigns after WrestleMania 40 disappeared. He was nowhere to be found. And Paul Heyman was left with Solo Sikoa, and Solo Sikoa treated Paul Heyman like crap. Paul Heyman ended up getting triple power bombed through a table from Solo Sikoa and his new bloodline. And to be honest, he might have just blamed Roman Reigns for that moment. He might have blamed Roman Reigns for leaving me with your cousin, and I've been attacked and I've been loyal to you even when you're not the champion, even when you've been out for all these months, telling Solo Sikoa that he's not my tribal chief, and you let this happen to me? You let them do this to me? Paul Heyman might have been done. He might have felt betrayed. He might have felt like Roman was not here to protect him. So why would I continue to support this man? It was in this moment that Paul Heyman could have been done with Roman Reigns. Moment number 3. This was during the build to WrestleMania 41, when Seth Rollins came in the ring with Paul Heyman, and he basically told him straight up, yo, Roman Reigns and CM Punk both treat you like crap. But since this is not about CM Punk, let's talk about the Roman part. It's exactly what I said to you. It is when Roman lost his title, he disappeared and he let Solo Sikoa abuse him. Now, the moment that Solo attacked Paul Heyman could have been the turning point, Or it could have just been another moment that Paul Heyman overlooked and he didn't realize and he didn't recognize it. Maybe in this moment in talking to Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman realized, wait, you're making a lot of sense. I never thought about it this way. And then Paul Heyman almost gets stomped out by Seth Rollins as well. And Seth Rollins tells Paul Heyman, hey, now you owe me a favor. Was it now I am going to take that as an opportunity to team up with Seth Rollins because I owe him a favor and he's right about Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns just stayed at home while his cousin violated me? Meanwhile, Seth Rollins is here telling me the facts and speaking truth. This was really close to the betrayal in WrestleMania 41, but it could have been the day that Paul Heyman decided to betray Roman. And moment number 4. Let's say that none of the other moments that I just discussed with you were the actual reason that Paul Heyman decided to leave Roman Reigns. Let's say he withstood everything. The WrestleMania 40 loss, the beatdown from Solo, Seth Rollins' explanation, and asking for a favor. Matter of fact, demanding a favor. But when Roman came back and he was mad about Paul Heyman teaming up with CM Punk at WrestleMania 41, Roman Reigns shoved Paul Heyman in the face directly after talking to Seth and hearing all the nonsense that he was spewing about Paul. Maybe it was at that exact moment that Paul Heyman realized that I cannot trust Roman. It was in that moment that he realized that Roman will break the physical barrier with him and Roman might powerbomb me through a table. So if that's the case and Roman, you could do this to me and you might actually hurt me at any minute, well, maybe I should create my own plan B so I could hurt you before you hurt me, because I'm not physical or strong enough or big enough or fast enough to prove to be a worthy adversary for you physically. But you know what? I am a smart man. I'm the wise man, and I have a plan that will prevent you from hurting me first. And that's what we witnessed at WrestleMania 41 with the betrayal. Now, if you want the truth and my final answer for when Paul Heyman actually decided to betray Roman Reigns, out of those 4 options, it had to be WrestleMania 40. If I'm being real with you, man. The way that Paul Heyman is, he straps himself to winners. And I think that is what he's always going to do. When Brock Lesnar was on top, he was strapped to Brock Lesnar. When Roman Reigns was on top, he was strapped to Roman. Roman Reigns lost, and Paul Heyman had to figure something out. Paul Heyman had to figure out who was going to be the next winner. He has now strapped himself to Seth Rollins and stated that Seth Rollins is the new undisputed top guy in WWE. Pay attention to those words. The new undisputed top guy in the WWE. He didn't say because I love Seth. He didn't say because we're best friends now. He didn't say anything else other than this is the top guy. He put it right in your face. I'm Paul Heyman. I only represent top guys. And I can tell from Seth Rollins being the reason that Roman Reigns lost his title in the first place, being the person that's constantly in Roman Reigns' head, I can tell that this is the guy I need to strap myself to next. Paul Heyman, if you need somebody to predict stock markets for you and to predict what's gonna go up, what's the great projection, Paul Heyman will do that because he can always tell you which superstar is next up. And he made his plan and he realized that Seth Rollins was next up, even though Seth Rollins been at this for years, but he knew that he had something more to give than Roman Reigns did, and he strapped himself to the winner. But that's going to be it for the video, guys. Please let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think out of these 4 moments, or maybe even a moment that I had not listed in this video? When did Paul Heyman decide to leave Roman Reigns? When was he officially done with him before the actual betrayal happened? Please let me know in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This is J Athletic Gaming, and I'll catch you on the next one.